Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be going over how to input new inventory and all the features that the inventory records has on Mpulse. So I'm going to start up on the load-in screen. I'm going to log in. Once I log in, I'm immediately met with my calendar view. If I go up to the top right here, I can click on these 9 little boxes. And then down here, I can, of course, hit my inventory option and then go to inventory records. So from here, much like a lot of the other features that are on Mpulse, it kind of has the same format. On the left-hand side here, we have a lot of the previous inventory already plugged in. But if I go to the right side here, I can go to the plus side and add a new piece of inventory, keeping in mind that over here on the drop-down option, it is on parts records. And so if I go over here, of course, I can add a new piece of inventory record. So much like the equipment record, we can go in and just type in description. And then there's a couple different options that we can plug in as well. Going down through this, we can just add as much or as little as we want in terms of describing the piece of equipment that we have or inventory. A majority of the time, all that's necessary that we do is typing in the name of the inventory and then the location. So here I'm just going to do a B69 belt, and I'm here in Paris. And so that's about all that we need with the description and a lot of the other details. The next section here, the stock area, this is going to be the most crucial aspect of the inventory record. So here I'm going to go ahead and say that this item is in stocked, and I'm going to go ahead and add a stocked item. So from here, starting left to right, this is how we're going to be plugging in how much of this piece of inventory do we have, where is it at, how much do we really want, and when do we want to reorder. So on the left-hand side here, we're going to be going ahead and plugging in our location. Since the list doesn't have the area that I'm in, I'm going to go ahead and go into here in the edit list option. Over here on the edit drop-down list, I'm going to go ahead and click this little add button and then hit Paris and hit the blue check mark to save. Then I'm going to exit out and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on Paris. So here's where we type in the quantity that we have right now. So let's say figuratively I have 4 belts right now in quantity. This is going to be extremely important when we talk about plugging in this inventory into a work order, because when you say that you have 4 and you create this piece of inventory, it's going to automatically say that you have 4 available. And then if you start using up inventory on Mpulse via these work orders, and let's say on a work order I use up 2 of these belts for a leg or something, and then on Mpulse it's going to go into the inventory records and take that 4 and reduce it to 2. So it's going to say, okay, you had 4, you used 2, now you have 2. Pretty simple stuff. But if we go into the target quantity, this is of course going to be, how many do we want at a time, just in case something were to happen. So let's say my target quantity is 2, and let's say that my reorder is 1. So when your inventory gets to 1 or less, Mpulse is going to send you an email that says, hey, your inventory on the B69 belt Paris is low. Do you want to reorder? The only unfortunate thing with Mpulse is, of course, it doesn't actually go directly into the website and order it for you. You'll have to go in and do that, but it's a good reminder to say, hey, maybe we should start thinking about reordering things before we run out completely. So to that, we're going to go in and say that this is in stock, and then we're going to hit this blue check mark up here. And if we go back to edit, of course, we can edit any of these values here, no matter where it is. and then hit that blue check mark. If we want to remove this area, we can go ahead and click the little delete row area. And if we want to add another, we can still do that. So, for this, if we really wanted to, we can also say, oh, well, we know that like in Hereford, there were two areas, the Hereford Feed Mill and the Hereford Hay Yard. So that was really crucial and beneficial to plug in two areas here. Of course, most of the time we try to keep things location specific, only because that mitigates confusion and any hazards that might take place. So now if we were to scroll down here to the where used area, this is where we can plug in, equipment, rolling stock, anything that would need the B69 belt. And all I have to do is go to the three little dots here and click the link. And here it's going to pull up all of our equipment that we already have. And so let's say, this B69 belt goes on this new leg. So I'm gonna click on this new leg here, and then I'm gonna click link in the bottom right. And that's gonna link that inventory onto the piece of equipment. And it does it vice versa. So on the piece of equipment, you're gonna also be seeing on the inventory section this belt. And so this is gonna be really nice just to say a quick access to the inventory levels. If you go over to the equipment side, scroll all the way down to the inventory section, and then you can also see, the list of piece of parts and inventory that you have for those equipment. And so finally, as we scroll down here to the media outlet, this is again one of the most versatile and nicest parts about Mpulse. We can go in and essentially add any files, links, URLs that we want to. So if we go here to the little link guy, after hitting the three dots, we're met with this page here. And so we have two options. We can either choose a file off our computer or link a URL. If I go over to the choose files, this is going to pull up stuff from your OneDrive. And so let's just plug something in randomly. I go in, I click that, I hit open, and from there it's going to be uploading. Eventually it's going to hit completion, and down here you're just going to hit the upload, and there you have it. There's the SOP that we plugged into a B69 belt. So if we want to view that piece of media though, we need to go back to the three little dots on the right side and go all the way over here to where this little eyeball is. So when you want to view a piece of media, you have to click on that media document and then go back up here and hit the eyeball. So this is going to be the media viewer. After it loads, it's going to give you a few options. You can either print, download, maximize, minimize, anything that you wish to do. And again, this is extremely beneficial, especially when you think about adding files or online documents pertaining to the inventory or piece of equipment that you wish to upload this media to. So if I exit out here, and I'm going to go ahead and unlink this piece of media. And so all I have to do is click this unlink guy. And do I want to unlink the selected media? Yes. So much like with any other area of Mpulse as well, we have a little comment section on the right side here that we're able to plug in and play with. This will be edited after we save the piece of inventory, but of course, we're not going to be saving that this because there's nothing here. But if you were to, of course, to save the blue little check mark, and then to cancel, we're going to be hitting the red circle. So that's about it for adding inventory records onto Mpulse. The other options that we have with inventory is up here in the top right, where we can either copy a piece of inventory record onto a new one. Basically, that will go ahead and copy that current record that you're on onto a new one. And so that's really beneficial if you have very similar records that you need to be adding in with a few minor details here and there that need to be changed. But for the most part, you can also just use the add new record button. The delete current record button is the X here. And so if we were to click on any one of these on the left-hand side here, where it says Robert Belt, and then hit the red X, that will automatically delete that piece of record out of Mpulse entirely. To the right of that is the edit button. And so again, if we want to edit a piece of inventory, all we need to do is go in, click on that piece of inventory, go back to the top right up here and click the edit. And from here, we can go ahead and mess with anything that we really want to. And then, of course, again, like all things, if we want to save, it's the blue check mark. If you want to cancel, it's the red X. Since I didn't do anything, I'm just going to hit that red circle. To the right of that is the drop down more option. Similarly to the equipment records, we're going to be having a few options for the viewer. You know, we can open work orders, current work orders that are attached to the inventory. We can also open its history, and then even scrolling down here to the procedures, creating scheduled maintenance, creating work orders. That's again another nice way to transition from inventory records into creating a scheduled maintenance record with it. Of course, there are separate videos for how to make work orders and scheduled maintenance records. But like I said, this is a great way to go ahead and click on those, and then it'll automatically attach to the new scheduled maintenance record that you wish to create. And then finally, next to it, there's a little print option. All you need to do is click that little printer, and then go to the current record, and then hit OK. Again, that's just going to be the same for the equipment records, where it's going to pop up with the print option, and all you need to do is click print from there. So that's about it for adding inventory, and I hope this helps you guys out a lot.